So a few weeks ago, AsRock asked me if I wanted to review one of their new products, and I was like, heck yes, I buy AsRock products all the time. What do you got? And they responded, well, we have our new X10 Internet of Things router. And I was a little confused because I had no idea that AsRock made networking equipment. So today, we're gonna take a look at this thing. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf. Today we're going to be checking out the AsRock X10 IoT router and of course doing our December month of giveaways at the end of the video. And if you're new here and you want to see more networking equipment or definitely some PC building videos, then hit that subscribe button down below and also that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode. But yeah, let's check this thing out. So the AsRock X10 IoT router may initially look like a standard router that any home user would be slightly interested in, but under the hood this thing is actually one of the first of its kind with its IoT/Zigbee integration. On top of all the normal networking functions that every router does, we'll get into those in just a minute, this router is able to combine all of your smart home devices such as your Alexa devices and your Philips Hue for example, and control them all through the AsRock app. In turn, this router turns out to be a very sought out product for those of you that have a plethora of smart home devices. Believe it or not, I actually do not in my house. I did try to test this out for myself, but I actually couldn't get my phone to connect to the router even though it was directly connected to it over Wi-Fi, and I've seen a lot of reviewers say the same thing. On the other hand though, I've seen a lot of review videos show that it does work properly, so I just couldn't figure it out with my device. Moving on to the physical tour of the X10 router, overall I would say that this product looks a tad bit outdated, but nothing that would personally affect my purchasing decision. There are definitely some more modern designs with other routers that are being released lately, but I personally don't think that's very important. On the top of the router, you'll find a huge vent for cooling and a blue LED that can be dimmed or turned off in the settings. On the back of the router, you'll find the two antennas which provide great range for a medium-sized home, definitely not for a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot home, mind you. And there's also one USB 3.0 port, one WAN port, and 4 gigabit LAN ports. As far as specs go, the X10 features up to the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi standard. Keep in mind that the Wi-Fi names are changing soon, by the way. And it's also got a quad-core A7 processor and can support bandwidth up to 400 megabits per second on 2.4 gigahertz and 867 megabit per second on 5 gigahertz. As far as operating modes go, I was very happy to see that this router supports 4 different operating modes, including repeater mode, which is what I'm currently using. This allows me to continue using my Baller Netgear Nighthawk router upstairs and then repeat that connection down to this device, so then I have a little network here in the studio. Moving on to the GUI interface of the router, you'll start to see some familiar settings that most routers have these days, such as a guest network, OpenVPN, media server through the USB port, and one of my favorites, self-healing. Self-healing allows you to set an automatic reboot schedule that's completely customizable. This ensures that your router is always running fresh and doesn't get bogged down. One thing that I really didn't like about the interface though was the password limits that you'll find throughout the options. The administrator password to actually get into this device and do the configurations is limited to 12 characters, which is just mind-boggling. I get that this isn't a huge deal in a home network, but seriously, there's some password standards out there that the minimum is more than 12 characters, so that kind of blew my mind. And finally, the other cool feature that I wasn't able to test myself is the IR remote control function. If the router has line of sight with anything that's controlled through IR, like a TV or smart kitchen appliances, you could actually control these as well through the router, which is definitely good for future-proofing your smart home. Overall, this router actually does do a lot of smart home integration functions. Sorry that I just don't really have the means to test all of them. For around 85 bucks, this router is definitely worth it in my opinion if you're going to utilize even half of its features, so I guess I would have to give it my recommendation. With the review wrapped up, it's now time for our December month of giveaways. If you're new here, I'm trying to do a giveaway in every single video this month, and for today's giveaway, I'm going to be giving one of my lucky viewers an official ZTT shirt. All you have to do is let me know down in the comment section that you want a shirt. Sorry, we are limited to the United States for this one, and I'll reply to one of you within 48 hours. Well, that wraps up my review of the AsRock X10 IoT router. Now feel free to head on over to one of these two videos if you haven't seen them yet, and definitely hit that subscribe button because I eventually want to make a cybersecurity for your home network video that I feel like a lot of you would be interested in. You don't want to miss that video.